Hello, I'm Christy Osborne, and I use data and strategies to help wedding and event pros develop custom marketing plans that are authentic, fun, and really hard for the competition to copy. Today, I want to talk to you about 11 things I think backcountry skiing can teach you about being a better marketer. So, number one, backcountry skiing at its core is a niche sport. So, it's a subset of alpine skiing. And as a niche sport, there's some pros and cons about being in a niche, right? The pros is you get away from the crowds, just like in marketing. The more you niche down, the more you're eliminating your competition and getting away from the crowds. The con to that is, of course, is the community is smaller. So same with backcountry skiing, it's a smaller community, but it's an enthusiastic community. Another thing about backcountry skiing and niching down in your marketing is backcountry skiing takes a little bit more expertise and skill in order to do well and to be safe. So you have to know a little bit about snow science and avalanche danger and avalanche safety. You need to know a little bit about wilderness first aid and CPR in case something happens. You need to get your partners out of there. And also in niche marketing, you start to get your skills a little bit more honed, and it could take more time to learn those skills and more time to really become an expert in those skills. So for me, I'm an expert in data and using data and research to create strategies, and it took me a long time to understand how data works and how to read data and things like that. The second thing that backcountry skiing can teach you about being a better marketer is it's so much easier to start than it is to actually finish, right? So when you first get on the snow, you're excited, you have a belly full of breakfast burrito, you are raring to go, you have a lot of energy. And after you start skiing for a couple of miles, you might get a little bit tired, you might think about turning back if you're really tired, which is fine. But it's the same with marketing. You know, it's really easy to, especially at the beginning of the year, have a lot of goals and have a lot of plans. And it's easy to have all that energy and motivation when you're starting. And then as you're slogging through and working towards your goal and your destination, it gets harder. You get tired, you get hungry, you get bored. So it's always easier to start than it is to finish. Number three, both backcountry skiing and marketing require constant adjustments. So when you're out backcountry skiing, you have a lot of layers on, and you might start to warm up because you're exercising and you're skiing in the sun, and you start shedding some layers, and you take your goggles off, you put your sunglasses on instead, you take your hat off, you put it in your pack, and then you hit a little shady section because you go into the woods or it gets cloudy and you're putting everything back on, you're taking everything back off, putting things back on. As the hill starts getting steeper, you might adjust your poles, make them a little bit smaller so they're easier to use, adjust your heel lift that will aid you in climbing. So it's a constant, you're constantly adjusting according to your situation in the environment around you. And marketing is exactly the same. You really need to be paying attention to what's going on. What's working, what's not working? What is your audience responding to? What are they not responding to? And here's the deal, just because they respond to something once at one time or in the beginning or in the middle doesn't mean that they'll continue to respond well to it. So, you know, sometimes you got to put the layers on, take them off, put them on, take them off. Sometimes you have to change it up with your marketing too in order to be really successful. Number four, backcountry skiing can be really boring and really repetitive. So it's the equivalent of going on a really long hike. And if you love the outdoors like I do, you really have your soul filled with the beauty of nature. But look, you're just putting one foot in front of the other, sometimes for hours, mile after mile after mile, and you're just moving, skiing one foot in front of the other, one foot in front of the other. It's very repetitive. And look, you're not moving fast. And so you're looking at the same scenery and the same vistas, you know, for sometimes 20 minutes, 30 minutes, 40 minutes. So as much as it's beautiful and awe-inspiring when you first see a new scene, it can get kind of boring after about 20 or 30 minutes of looking at the same stuff. And look, Online marketing is exactly the same. It can get really boring just posting to social media every single day, or writing your blog posts every single week, or doing your YouTube videos every single week or every single month. So if it feels boring or repetitive to you, that's fine. That's part of the process. Number 6, you often have to improvise. So listen, once you start going and you're a couple of miles into the backcountry, there's no turning around and just go into the car real quick so you can return to your house real quick to get that whatever that you forgot. Dustin and I were in the backcountry recently, and we forgot our little mesh guards that you apply to your skin so you can fold them up, put them in your backpack when you want to ski back down the mountain. So you put skins on the bottoms of your skis, and they're designed to help you basically ski up a hill. Right? So they prevent you from sliding back, and you can move your foot forward, but there's a bit of friction. You don't want to ski on them. And we didn't realize that we forgot our mesh until we had summited. We were at the top of the mountain, and there was just nothing to do but ski down. And we made the decision to care for our gear, that we were not going to take our skins off, and we were going to ski down anyway. And it was slow, and it was challenging, and it was difficult, but we ended up getting home. We had a nice time out, and the improvisation worked well enough. And look, it's the same in marketing. You make all these plans, best laid plans, and all of a sudden something goes sideways, and you just have to sit down, look at your situation, and make a decision. Are you going to move on? Are you going to go back? Are you in danger somehow with your business and you need to just stop the trip? But you're constantly being aware of your environment. And if something doesn't go the way that you planned it, oftentimes you just have to improvise. Number 7, in backcountry skiing, once you succeed, once you get to the summit, you're only halfway there. You still have to go all the way back. There's so much work still to do. So it's the same in marketing. You may have achieved a big goal with a launch, or you may have made a bunch of sales, or have a whole bunch of inquiries that came in because of your marketing. But even though that is a really great reason to celebrate, and you can feel warm and big inside with your success, you're only halfway there. You still have to deliver your product or service. You still have to make that client or customer happy. And if you're doing a really good job, you still have to get that review at the end. Number 8, you must take care of yourself. If you do not take care of yourself, you will not succeed in the backcountry. You are out there burning hundreds and sometimes thousands of calories. Your muscles are working. Your whole system, your body system is working to keep you at an optimal temperature, not too hot, not too cold. You have to take care of yourself. And what that means is, if you need to rest, rest. If you need to eat, eat. If you need to drink water and hydrate, drink water and hydrate. Because if you do not take care of yourself, what will happen is you will quote unquote bonk out, as athletes often say, and you won't be able to finish. And it's the same with marketing. Marketing is a long-term endeavor. You don't just throw an ad on to Instagram or put up a social media post and all of a sudden you're making $1 million and you have all of these clients. Look, if it was easy as spending $10 on Instagram to make $1 million in sales, I wouldn't be talking to you on YouTube. I would be in the Caribbean retired. So it's a long haul. And if you're going to do anything that takes a long time, you've got to take care of yourself, because if you don't, you're going to burn out and hit a wall. Number 9, preparation and planning are crucial. In the backcountry, conditions can change in an instant. You can go from beautiful and sunny and warm to socked in and snowing and foggy and cold in an instant. Now, in terms of planning, of course, you can watch the weather and make sure that there's no storm cycle coming in before you go into the backcountry. But oftentimes there are microclimates and unexpected events that can happen out there, and you are completely isolated from civilization. So you better be prepared. And preparing in the backcountry means bringing extra water, bringing extra food, having layered clothing so you can take on and put off. It also means being prepared for the unexpected catastrophe like an avalanche. So we wear beacons that emit a signal in case we're buried. We carry shovels and probes so we can find our partner. Our skis can lash together to form a litter so you can get somebody out of the backcountry. All of this every time, no matter what, no matter how safe we think it is, we do all of these things. And it's the same with marketing. You want to have a solid marketing plan. You want to base it on research, which is like checking the Weather Channel app. And you want to be prepared for the unexpected. You, even if that's just having a heart that's flexible, just be prepared for the unexpected. Number 10, you need the right equipment for the right job. So when I'm skiing at the resort, I have super hard race boots. I have, sometimes skinny race skis, sometimes fatter skis for all mountain. I have cute little outfits, and that equipment's great for the resort. When I'm in the backcountry, I have super light skis, super light bindings, super light boots. My bindings release at the heel so that I can do the equivalent of what looks like cross-country skiing, so I can ski up the hill. I have special bindings, I have special skis, everything's lightweight. My equipment, my actual clothing is a lot different. So if it gets wet, I'm not gonna get cold. It's seam sealed. It's just, the equipment is designed for the backcountry. And the same is with marketing, right? So one of the big pieces of equipment that you need is your website. And so many times I see old, outdated websites, websites that don't look good on mobile, people who are using PDFs all over the place for their contracts. Like, really think about how people are using your website in 2020 and beyond, and think about what they're going to need. You need the right equipment for the right job. And finally, number 11, the thing that every backcountry skier knows that can help you as a marketer is that it's not always great when you reach your goal. So we plan and we prepare and we get excited about this epic run of fresh, pristine powder or super creamy corn snow in the spring. And sometimes we get to our destination and the snow sucks. It's hard packed and wind affected, or there's all these wind lips and you're picking your way down and you're just survival skiing. At that point, you're not enjoying yourself necessarily. You're just trying to get back down so you can skin out. And the same is true with marketing. Look, we plan well, we have great dreams and aspirations, but sometimes at the end of the launch or at the end of an endeavor that you're trying that's new, or a wedding show or a new social media plan, sometimes it's just not that satisfying to finish. Sometimes the conditions just suck and you just kind of pack up, you go home, and you take it as a learning opportunity, but you just don't quit, right? Like backcountry skiers, no matter how bad the conditions are, one time, we know that there are other times that the conditions are going to be truly epic. And marketing's the same. It's not always going to be rainbows and unicorns every time you try something. But if you fail, hey, it's not a big deal. Just pick yourself up and try again another day. So I hope you enjoyed the 11 things that backcountry skiing can teach you about being a better marketer. And if you like this type of content, please subscribe to my channel so you never miss another video.